What up guys, welcome to my channel. This is your boy Jeff. As you know, we always come with the truth, nothing but the truth. We are here again with another episode, but today's episode is going to be about a disturbing video I just saw concerning one of our brother over here in Italy, and these things has been going on and nobody talk about it, and people even talk about it, but there is no action. There's nothing nobody is doing. I think we don't know what we have to do when we are in this kind of situation. I just want to give a little. I know that maybe it can help you if you go through all those steps, and what I think most of us should do so we get this kind of problem, so that we can get ourselves out and maybe have solutions to it, so that it will help all of us. And also, if you are watching me for the first time, as I said previously, it's all about education, influence, and entertainment. If you want to be part of the family, all that you have to do is subscribe, click notification bell. When I post a video, you will have it on time. But before I continue talking, let's go and watch the video. When we come back, we will continue whatever we have to say.
This is the work she want me to come and be doing here. She just want to punish me just because I went to go and report that I fell down from Muletu. She said that I should not say anything when I get to the hospital, and I reported that I fell down from Muletu, up of Muletu. That's how she's been doing me. She said, Kim, come back to work now after my injury. She's giving me to be clearing grass with my hand. She said, look at what I'm doing. And they are punishing us here because I'm a black. Clearing it with my hand. I asked her to give me hoe. She said, no, I should do it with my hand. While the rest are inside the fabric are working. She's just only punishing me. Tomorrow now they will say that black don't like work. Black don't want to work. See what I'm doing? There's no Italian person that can do this kind of job. Since morning, that's what I'll be doing around the compound. Look at it. Tell me, how can I clear here with my hand? Full compound. See what I'm doing? Since morning. Putting inside the bucket.
As we all seen, this is what most of, I can say almost like 40 or 50% of African immigrants pass through this kind of problem over here in Italy. This is not the first time, this is not the second time we've been in it. Even me, I passed through this kind of situation before. But how can we solve this kind of problem? The only way we can solve this problem is to know what type of work that we are doing, is to go through certain kind of sources over here that will help us. First thing is, at least if you are here and you have a comfortable job, or maybe you are doing something, you must have a lawyer, talking to a lawyer, communicate with a lawyer you can call, or maybe depend on when some things like this happen. Second, you must have your own personal doctor. So if you are working, at least most of the people don't know that even if you register in the anagraph, you go and register for your maybe your tessera sanitaria, your health, or maybe your doctor. If you are having this kind of 1 year permit or maybe 2 year permit, these kind of things used to expire, but we'll talk about that in another video. But you need to have your own maybe doctor. Should in case things like this happen, you can communicate with your doctor. Your doctor will tell you whatever you have to do, the process that you have to go. And another thing I want you to understand, when you are signing a contract, you need to know the kind of job that you are going to do in that company. Even if the contract is just 1 month, you need to know what actually you'll be doing in the workplace. Should in case something like this happen and they told you to go out and go and work, and you know the type of job or maybe the type of contract you sign, you can go to any ispettorato di lavoro, or so that you go and tell them. To denuncia your boss is so easy for you to do. What you have to do is just go to any inspectorato de lavoro and just go and tell them whatever situation you are passing through. So from there, they will just take the process from that place. But one thing most of us are having over here is because of lack of job. Because there's no much job, nobody want to leave his job or maybe denuncia his boss because he don't want to stay in the house. But I think some people need to do, because some people are passing through like modern day slavery. They are slaving people over here. The last time another guy called me and he was like his boss used to slap him at the workplace, and I was like, damn, you need to denuncia this boss. And he was like, the problem is, even if I told my brothers not to go to work, we should stay in the house one day without going to work, they will not agree. And we've seen a whole lot of things. I saw a demonstration the other time, and they were talking about their bosses. They work maybe full hours and the boss will sign maybe 3 hours. And the problem is who? The problem now is not even the state. The problem now is not even the boss. The problem is the worker. But why is it that most of the workers continue working over there? It's because there's no job. So anything later that they can survive with it, they will continue managing those kind of things. But when it reaches some limit, we need to be strong enough to say we are not going to do again. I did the same thing when I was working with my boss, my first boss. I left the job, but before I leave the job, you know, you can't always rely on that job. You need to be looking for some job so that you can just leave the old job. But it is getting out of hand. You need to go through some steps. As I'm telling you, if you want to sign a contract, you need to know the kind of work you are doing. So if you are working in a company and you are being signed to do only cleaning in the company, that is your job. Okay, anything at all different from the cleaning, when you get hurt, it is not going to be part of it. The boss can say that is not your mindset, that's not your work, that is not what you are being signed to come and do. So if you are working, let's say the boy who just said his story right now, if his contract is to just maybe clean over there, they can still use this as an opportunity, even though maybe that is not what he has been doing. He cannot denuncia them because that is what they signed him for. So this is the problem we are having. We sign contract that we don't even know what is inside the contract. What you know, you need to know. Some people will just give you a contract and they will be like, the mansione is like a helper. So if you are a helper in the company, that means you don't have to overdo job. You just have to support the person who is the boss over there. And most of the time, even though you have a helper contract, you do even the work of the boss in the company. And this is what they have been doing. So we need to understand how to control ourselves, how to go through this kind of problem. But the last thing I want to add in this is, why is it that we don't have communities? You know, if we have, like for the Ghanaian community, I know when you go to other places in Italy over here, they have Ghana community, and most of the places they have this community, and they used to do like a meeting and talk about issues like this. When something like this happen and they need to support the person, you have your community will support you. They will have a lawyer they can talk to so that they can support you. But what I've seen, that most of the Nigerians over here don't have Nigerian community, and they don't have like this kind of associations that help them. Maybe they had, but I don't know any of them. If you are part of any community over here, comment down below. And another person I've seen that he said most of the time when they create community, confusion used to come. And the same thing happens to the Ghanaians over here. Most of the community were being break because of confusion. But I think the youth of now, that we've realized, we've understand their system because of this modern world, because of this YouTube, because of this internet, we understand the system. We can read, we can write. So why not form a community? It doesn't have to be like a Ghanaian community or maybe a Nigerian community. It must be like a whole of like immigrant community, or maybe foreigners community, or maybe let's say African immigrant community. We can create something like this. We didn't have to make it be like Ghanaian community, Nigerian community, Senegal community, or maybe Gambian community, but we can make something in a general in one, so that we can just be helping each other. Let's take it as if we have a community right now and this thing happen. All that we have to do is the community will just come together, try to read this contract, try to know what we have to do. We can contact a lawyer, or maybe we can just tell him what steps that he should take. Now you have to talk to individual people that they will misinform him, or maybe they will just give him something. Big ups to Bright Future for bringing this information, and I think he already gave him whatever, or maybe told him whatever he has to do, and the guy has started the process, and he said right, that is the right process that he have to go. But I want you to understand another very important thing that I didn't know about this. I was even educated. Somebody also educated me on this. You know, you have to join this syndicalist or maybe syndicate. So if you are working in a company, there are so many syndicate out there. We have TGL, we have this Chisla, and we have this COFAS. So I think the COFAS is something most of them used to go to, because they think the other syndicate are so like with the company. So sometimes when you have problem and you go to them, instead of them to work for the workers, they rather work for the companies or maybe help the company. But most of the people do talk about this. They have, this is their flag, this is their name. You can go and join them, and I think you have to just register for a few money. Whatever you have, any problem at all you have in the company, you can just contact them, talk to them. They will just help you from that place, so you don't have to worry much. I want to give my brother over there some advice. The advice I want to tell him is he have to first check his contract before he will make any kind of denuncia. So if the contract, they sometimes put those kind of things like your contract just to tell you he's there just doing some general cleaning. So if it is on your contract, even if you make denuncia, it's not going to affect them. Stay mute. I know it's hard for you to find a new job. I know it's very, very difficult, but you can still push it. If you have most of the time you have live contract, and most of the people cannot talk. If you have live contract, you have mouth to talk. You can talk, you can do whatever you like. If you denuncia a boss and you won the case, you get money, and sometimes even the state will still tell the boss that they should allow you to work. We've seen a lot of people who lost their life even through this kind of process, especially in Sicilia. I've heard a story like that. Just because he denunciated a boss and he's not working with them anymore, one day they found him dead. And I know they are the cause of it, but nobody is going to talk about this. I hope these things will be solved and we will find the right solution. These upcoming ones that you know the system now, because of this technology, we can even read and understand with the system, where to go, how to go about things. I think it's high time we come together, we form a community. With this community, we can battle it. Whatever we have to do is get a lawyer who is ready to work with us, and we work together. Situation like this, they bring it, we try to solve it. When we hear something over in other places that we can do something about it, then we work towards it. But if we always stay and be like, I am going to do my thing my own way, I don't want to help anybody. Even if you have the knowledge, you are not going to share it with anybody. So thank you very much, Bright Future, for coming out with this information. It's a very, very good information. I wanted to talk about this for a very long time. We have a lot to learn and we are still learning. Thank you very much for coming out with this. And if you are watching me and you are interested in this kind of content, all that you have to do is subscribe, click the notification bell. When I post videos, you will have it on time. All this problem, who is the cause of this problem? The cause of this problem are our leaders. Yes, it's our leaders, because you cannot be in somebody's country and they are still treating you like slaves, and at the end you can't go back, because if you go back, it's going to be even worse than where you are, because at the end of the day you are being treated like slave and you earn more than maybe somebody who is working in a big company back home. That's why we are still here. But I hope that things will change one day and we'll be able to feel proud that we're going back home and establish and start up fresh. Most of the time, we all say we want to go back home, there's money back home, but you need money to make money back home. That's the problem. Thank you very much for having time. This is your boy Black. I'm out.